with the support from the World Bank, decided to join this mass registration, giving electronic birth certificates or the registration of that one and the health insurance, making them concurrently at one go. It will reduce the resources that will be used by the government and also the time spent by the applicant. So once you are there, it becomes one-step shop that you can have all these materials given to you. The only information we want to give more is that the applicant should be present at the site of registration, because there is an area they should be present, they need to be captured, including their facial features. That should be taken, facial image will be taken. And if applicants are coming, if they are adults, they need to come with a supporting document. This includes national identity card, a birth certificate, a passport. In the absence of this one, attestation from the Alcalo, and infant welfare care for children that are not yet matured. So these are the documents that you need to come. If it's a young person, less than 18, he or she needs to be accompanied by one of the parents or a caregiver. It's a legal documentation and it has its own legal implications. Birth certificate will be given to all eligible Gambians or children born to Gambians or non-Gambians in the Gambia. But health insurance will be given to all residents in the Gambia who stay within the immigration limits, 6 months and above or 3 months and above minimum will be eligible to be given a national health insurance and be served. So we have to know that these are legal documentations. The team will only ask few questions to verify the information given. What we are telling the general public is that any information given here should be credible, because giving false information is illegal in terms of legal documentations. And there are penalties attached to those ones. We are not scaring you, but we are saying when you are coming, we are sure that information you're giving are credible and reliable. You don't have to give double information if you don't know yourself. And if you are not legible, don't come forward on that one. But here, our approach is that everybody will be legible. Those who should have the birth certificate will be given, and all will be given health insurance cards. So there is no somebody who will come and go home empty. Everybody will have something to go with. Therefore, we urge every individual, those here today, and then also inform the general public that will be coming and moving from one community to another using IEC registration centers, where we'll be there for a specific period. We are urging every individual to ensure that when they are at your community, if you cannot have this service here today, ensure that the service is, that has come to your doorstep, you utilize it at the time they're there. Otherwise, the opportunity given now, if that should go away, you may have to have some implication of cost and time. For example, this registration is free of charge. The government, with the support from the World Bank, is providing the services free of charge. The certificate will be given free, the insurance cards will be given free. But there will be cost implication after this exercise. Obviously, we need to have a user fee to ensure that service continues. So therefore, we are urging every Gambian now to seize this opportunity and avail himself or herself at the registration centers, particularly when they are in your community. You register timely, you give yourself little time because it's a process, and answer the questions they will ask you. The approving officer or the data entry class will ask you, and you organize yourself into group in a mannerly order so that you can have access and then you don't create chaos at the service point. On that note, we thank you all and urge all of you to register timely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lamin Fati. I would not call that a speech because it just came like that. And I wish to also say that the greatest of speeches are speeches that just come naturally. You don't have to prepare for it. And this is always what my mentor Barack Obama usually does. He doesn't do preparing any speech. He just comes on the ground and say it as it is. So Please give Mr. Lamin Fati a big round of applause, please. Now, Mr. Fati had given you a gist of how the registration is supposed to be done. And I would just want to remind key points to myself and everyone here that the registration is open to everybody. So let us all take that message. It is open to everybody. That is all residents of the Gambia, from Banjul to KMC to North Bank region to LRR to CRR North and South to Upper River region, you name it. So everybody is included and everybody has to register during this exercise. Now he has also made a rundown of the requirements that you need. I think every individual here must have gotten a birth certificate. If not a birth certificate, a passport. If not a passport, an ID card. If not an ID card, you can get an Alcalo attestation. So the list goes on and on and on. So this is what you will need to present at the point of registration. So it's important that I reiterate those points, because there are some people who are sitting behind and they're saying the audio was a little bit too low. But I wish to say that for us, this is our job. So if it means we have to shout, we will shout for all of you to hear the message. But luckily enough, I think the message is very clear coming from Mr. Lamin Fati of the Ministry of Health. Please give him one more round of applause again. Now, I now welcome the SOS Director to also give a brief remark. Mr. Director, please welcome. Please give him a round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Lamin Fati from the Ministry of Health, Mr. Bassem, Mr. Mills from the World Bank, Honorable Alcalo, honorable guests, good morning everyone. We are very happy this morning to be here, to be part of this memorable event. We all know that birth registration and record of individuals is part of the basic human rights, and we are very happy as SOS Children's Villages to host this kickoff event for this electronic registration for the population of the Gambia. Believe me, in West Africa and Central Africa that I know a little bit more, you are very lucky to have those electronic documentation, which is really at the age of innovation in our region. So I'm very grateful as the National Director of SOS Children's Villages in the Gambia to the government of the Gambia for this initiative and for the support of the World Bank. I wish every one of you a good stay for the couple of minutes or hour you're going to spend in our facility. It's also an opportunity for you to see what we are currently doing for children and young people in this country as we're celebrating this year our 40th anniversary of operations in the Gambia. Welcome to everyone. I will just stop there and wish you a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director, Jean-Pierre Kwame, for that beautiful remark, which of course also draws this curtain to the formal program here at the SOS Children's Village. And now we will just shift to the practical aspect of it, where registration will continue. Mr. Buba, if you could just be around so we could have the program progress now. So I'm informed that the registration now will start with the SOS family. So you can start having a queue at the registration site for the registration proper. then all other guests can also follow queue. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, that draws an end to this brief program, and we wish to thank everybody for coming, from the World Bank to the Ministry of Health officials, parents, and all individuals here present, and of course, PCU for a job well done, and the Ministry of Health. Thank you very much. Now we have the formal registration proper to take place. Thank you.
Thank you.
A good weight on my shoulders, huh?
Fia. Sorry. Thank you very much, viewers. Here we are at the SOS Children's Villages in Bakote. We've just witnessed a very important occasion, marking the beginning of the civil registration and vital statistics for birth and the National Health Insurance Scheme. What that means is that we all can remember, if you can remember, the Ministry of Health, that is the government of the Gambia, introduced a National Health Insurance Bill at Parliament, which was passed into law in November 2021, and it has come to an effect this year. And now the process to roll out that highly important health insurance scheme has begun. That is the registration. People are out to come out in their numbers to register and get their cards for the National Health Insurance Scheme. The other registration process that is taking place is birth registration. So there is a digital registration of birth that is ongoing. So when people come here, or when people go to different points of registrations across the country, they're expected to experience two registrations. One, the registration of birth, and two, the registration for the National Health Insurance Scheme. Now, some of us, or some people like me, have already got birth certificates, but that is not enough. We are supposed to come out and then, do the registration. The Ministry of Health is trying to digitize everything. So we're going to start from scratch to register birth. Every birth of this country will be registered, starting from His Excellency the President. So when people come here, or any point across the country for registration, you are required to come with national documents. The National Health Insurance Scheme is meant for every resident of this country. It doesn't mean whether you are a Gambian or a non-Gambian, you are entitled to register for the National Health Insurance Scheme. And for the birth registry, this is specifically meant for Gambians. Every Gambian, irrespective of when you were born and where you were born, to ensure that you at least do register for the National Health Insurance Scheme. So the documents that are needed is national identification card, passport, driver's license, residence permit, infant welfare card, and Alcalo attestation. So if you don't have all these documents, get Alcalo's attestation to register, to do birth registry and for the National Health Insurance Scheme. So as you can see, people are already queuing in order to take part in this important process. mbokk yi jërë ngeen jëf fu mu nekk nii am nañ event boo xam ne dafa important bu baax a baax nit yëpp ñu ngi dajaloo fii nii te lu waral ñu dajaloo fii nii mooy ne kenn ku nekk koo xam ne dëkk nga si Gambie bi fii nii wala yow doomi Gambia nga da nga war a génn pour nga register. lu ñoo register mooy bés suñ juddu la ñoo register. kenn ku nekk bu mu judduwee register nañ ko ba mu am birth certificate, waaye léegi Ministry of Health in partnership with World Bank ñu ngi roll out project boo xam ne képp ku nga xamante ni Gambien la ba pare mu juddu si réew mi fii nii war naa am birth certificate te birth certificate boobu noonu even though ñun ñu bari am nañ ko waaye dañ war a commencé waat register lu tax ñu war a commencé register because dañ bëgg a def digital registration ba nga xam ne ñëpp dinañ nekk si système bi te soo ñëwee fii nii dinañ la register dinañ la jox national identification number boobu dafa nekk si système bi ba pare dina nekk loo xam ne dina reflect also suñ national documents demee ni passport or national identification card so boobu moo nekk njëlbeeni registration bu ñoo def fii nii beneen bi nag mooy ne am nañ lu ñoo ooyee National Health Insurance Scheme National Health Insurance Scheme bi nag moom dafa ñëw pour dimbale bépp doomi Gambian ak koo xam ne mu ngi dëkk Gambia pour mu am access to health care mooy pour mu mun a dem si lopitaan faju irrespective of ban feebar lam am pour mu mun a dem si lopitaan mu faju ba nga xam ne luy génn si poosam bi du nekk loo xam ne dafay seer trop so da ngay gis ne National Health Insurance Act boobu noonu ñu ngi ko passoon November 2021 léegi mu ngi ñëw into effect because act bi dafa wax ne within 2 years government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Health dafa war a register kenn ku nekk muy doomi Gambian la oo nekkul doomi Gambia pour ñu mun a make sure ne process bi commencé na establish ne lu ñoo wax National Health Insurance Authority National Health Insurance Authority boobu noonu moom mooy doxal lii nii di dem nii so da ngaa gis ne ku dem si lopitaan bi with this National Health Insurance Scheme doo nekk di génne xaalis bu seer because in fact contribution dafa nekk annually kenn ku nekk su la joxee carte at bu nekk da nga am contribution boo xam ne moom ngay def so contribution boobu noonu moom mooy tax nga mun a am nga mun a am access si National Health Insurance Scheme bi nii so loolu moo nekk di xew nit yi ñëw nañ pour def registration bi fii nii te dafa nekk loo xam ne lu am important la trop for every Gambian and non-Gambian. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are witnessing a very important occasion. You can come on. Come. Yeah. We are witnessing a very important occasion, marking the mass registration of birth and registration for the National Health Insurance Scheme live here at Bakoteh at SOS Children's Villages. So as you can see behind me, people are already queuing to take part in this historic occasion for every Gambian and non-Gambian. So for those of you who want to get registered, you can do so by, because I understand there will be center points for the registration of birth and civil registration for the National Health Insurance Scheme, which is taking place in this country. And anybody who wants to get registered, you can do the registration. So I will just move around and then conduct some interviews for some people around here. Assalamu alaikum. Caaboy naka ngeen def?
ñu ngi nii rek di sant yàlla.
Yéen a ngi si jàmm?
ñu ngi si jàmm rek.
Waaw léegi dañ bëggoon pour nga wax ñu rek sa kontaante parce que nguuri Gambia am nañ partnership with World Bank so tey ñu ngi ñëw pour register leen pour ngeen bokk si National Health Insurance Scheme bi loolu dafay waral pour ngeen jot si dem si lopitaan du nekk loo xam ne dafay génn si seen poche yi waaye dafa nekk contribution boo xam ne at bu nekk moom ngeen a def te dina yombal yëpp so lan mooy sa mbégte si lii nii.
man de kontaan naa trop kontaan naa sant naa yàlla bu baax a baax waa SOS ndimbale bu ñuy dimbale nii kontaan nañ ci man kay aw ma dara papa lu may wax foofu lu dul kontaan rek ak bég. waaw lii
dafa nekk programme boo xam ne jóge ko wut SOS lii Gambia government la ñu ngi collaborate ak World Bank so nguuri Gambia la. kontaan nañ ci nguuri Gambia.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75C and $100C and pay later. Yes, you heard me right. Get credit loan from $10C to $100C using eFunkanta by dialing *393#. Anytime you run out of credit, whether you want to buy Q-Power, browse the internet, make urgent calls, or send SMS. eFunkanta is the service for you. Dial *393# and choose the loan amount of your choice with no hassle.